Steady now.
Psychonauts seemed destined to remain one of those beloved yet overlooked masterpieces from generations gone by, an adventure bursting with creativity and style that resonated with those who played it, but unlikely to get any continuation. But as digital distribution gave the game a second life, talks of a sequel would spread like wildfire amongst passionate fans, and thanks to crowdfunding, gamers are finally getting their hands on Psychonauts 2, some 16 years after the original. But after so long a period, the continually evolving landscape of gaming, and the purchase of Double Fine by Microsoft may have sent alarm bells to those on the outside. Worry not though, because this sequel delivers everything loved about the original, but with more polish and refinement, making it feel like time stood still between these two games. After the events of Rhombus of Ruin, which saw the Grand Head of the Psychonauts kidnapped but eventually rescued, the team explore the mind of Dr. Loboto to try to find the employer of this abductor. After nearly being a bust mission, Raz eventually uncovers that a mysterious force looks to resurrect an old evil that wiped out a nation completely, and that the perpetrator may be a mole within the organisation. While eager to crack the case, Raz must first navigate life as an intern at the famous agency, before helping returning characters like Sasha 9 and Mila. It's a slow burner to begin with, but Psychonauts 2 builds a beautifully told narrative that not only ups the stakes of the original, while continuing key threads, but also feels substantial enough as its own piece, with engrossing writing keeping you talking to everyone even outside of cutscenes. The graceful handling of mental health issues, such as panic attacks and addictive traits, is a step above other games, which feel almost childish in comparison. This storytelling sculpts the myriad of mental worlds you explore, creating an insanely distinctive journey which rewards exploration, not just for collectibles such as mental baggage and figments, but also analysis. You enter a key character's mind twice, the second time drastically different due to thought tampering and the releasing of impulsive thoughts. The previously medicinal stage gets injected with gambling motifs, high roller rooms, and some unsettling clashes of the two, such as the maternity ward roulette wheel. A later level sees you exploring a mind which initially seems pleasant, a desert island and clear skies. But bottles keep appearing, replacing scenery in the environment and adding a dark undertone to the world. Every mental world feels like a new, harrowing exploration of the psyche and the damage inciting incidents can cause, tinging every moment with a mix of intrigue and unease. Outside of the brain, the new Motherlobe hub also proves enjoyable to explore. Like before, a large cast of individual characters can be spoken to, including fellow interns, key figureheads of the agency, and even random NPCs. While tempting to try and explore the grounds early on for side cards and challenges, many items often require special abilities rewarded through progressing the story and stay tantalisingly out of reach, just like they are in the mental worlds. Luckily, multiple transport points make jumping between locations mostly a breeze, both in the hub and individual levels. Eventually gaining access to the outside compound known as the Questionable Area, more collectibles and a few side quests await, such as a scavenger hunt of utmost importance. It all feels extremely well designed, with intimate locations offering more incentive to explore and interact. Psychonauts 2 is a joy to play, thanks to further refined mechanics. Raz can glide using levitation, perform a larger jump, and eventually warp between thought bubbles. Platforming feels tighter than ever, with a smooth camera system which tracks Raz near flawlessly, and responsive controls that make the excellent original feel even better. Combat also feels great, with some interesting new enemy types which spice up what powers you use. Along with many of his original abilities, including Ignite and Telekinesis, Raz can drag foes towards him with Mind Connection, project an archetype of himself to draw attacks, and slow down foes with Time Manipulation, creating a decent swath of offense to keep things varied. Along with smaller foes, a slew of larger bosses often conclude levels, though these can prove a source of irritation due to a lack of checkpoints, which often sends you back to the beginning of lengthy encounters. But it's nowhere near enough to spoil the excellent gameplay. Psychonauts 2's arrival on the Xbox One proves interesting, offering older gen players a way to experience this outside of high-end PCs and the latest tech. The good news is that this game often looks excellent, even on this system, with fantastically lit environments and detailed characters, again built with that distinctive style the original enjoyed, and incredible creativity in mental worlds. It's often a combination of stunning tech and incredible art style, but like the original, it comes with some caveats that may not be in other versions. Pop-in proves a frequent issue, seeing characters enter cutscenes looking blurry until textures render. Performance is unsteady, often dropping from 30 frames per second when the action gets intense. And perhaps the biggest woe is loading, which often sees the game taking a half a minute to load levels, which grows noticeable as you play on. It's nothing on the level of bad cross-gen ports like Cyberpunk 2077, but it bears mention for those playing on Xbox One.
What the heck did you just do?
I said connect with the idea, not jump inside it like a hamster ball.
Sorry. Old habit from the circus, I guess.
Luckily, the audio is masterful. Voice acting is simply tremendous, mixing returning actors with new additions, including Jack Black and Elijah Wood. Everyone is on their A game here, adding depth and weight to each character that builds incredible immersion to the world and story you enter. The music once again spans an eclectic mix of genres for the myriad of mental worlds you explore, with each tied into their general theme. From classic rock to jazz and blues, it fits like a glove. The audio is crisp and clear, balancing the frenetic action and other elements while avoiding sensory overload. "16 years was a long wait for fans, but thankfully, Double Fine would absolutely deliver with Psychonauts 2. Everything you loved about the original is here, from its immensely creative worlds to the emotionally resonant handling of dark topics, while many of the rough edges have been sanded down to modernise the original. Tight platforming, a myriad of enjoyable powers, and tons of collectibles to find add up to a superb time. While this particular version is a touch rough around the edges, it by no means ruins the experience. Anyone who remotely enjoyed Psychonauts' brand of spy games should download this one without hesitation.
What are you doing, weirdo?
Try not to fall asleep in my class. All right, Rapscallion.